I work a 4-day week, 32 hours. Yeah.
And how are you finding it? I mean, when did you begin and what's the difference been for you?
So I used to work for about 5 years, well, longer actually, more like 7 years. I worked full time in politics, which was, 9 to 5, 5-day working week, about 40 hours a week. It incredibly burnt me out. I was very stressed all the time, very overworked. But for the last year, I've been working on the 4-day week campaign, and I do a 4-day week, Monday to Thursday. And I found on a personal level, I'm much better rested. My well-being is much improved. I don't get burnt out at work. But also I enjoy my work more. I come back in on a Monday morning much more refreshed and better rested.
Yeah, so to that trial in Iceland, how exactly did shorter working hours lead to an increase in productivity?
So it's exactly what I've just said. So the Iceland trial was one of the biggest trials of its kind in the public sector in the entire world, of the 4-day week, shorter working week, about 35, 36 hours, not quite 32 hours. And across all indexes, well-being, burnout, stress, overwork, which was measured through interviewing employees as the trials went on, they all improved dramatically. And at the same time, productivity also went up. So the 4-day week looks like a policy that's not only good for workers, but also good for employers too.
And apart from, I suppose, the mental well-being of an individual, how does that sort of trickle down into society as a whole?
Well, there's lots of other benefits to a 4-day working week. It's not just the it's not just the mental health and economy, good for the economy. It's also environmental benefits too. Evidence looks like when we're commuting less as a result of a 4-day week, that brings down emissions. Also, energy consumption goes down. So this is a policy that's win-win for the environment, for workers, for employers. What's not to like about it?
Yeah, but Joe, this is a very small sample in a country with a population of under 400,000. How realistic is this for larger economies?
Well, 86% of Iceland's population now have the ability to reduce their working hours, and many have. We've also seen some bigger companies trying this, so Unilever in New Zealand, Microsoft in Japan, and increasingly now other countries looking at it. Spain, Scotland, Ireland, all of those governments have announced pilot schemes. And in the UK, we're seeing more and more small businesses adopting it. So, it's as we come out of this pandemic, it's really, the world of work dramatically changed. 4-day week is the policy we need to reduce burnout and make our lives better.
And is this the opportune time? I mean, with people working from home, has this been the opportune time for your campaign to push its message out on a wider scale?
Yeah, totally. I mean, the world of work has been completely thrown up in the air. Majority of workers moving remotely, different schemes to support workers paid by the government. And I think all this has shown that the world of work can change very quickly when we want it to. As part of the conversation around more flexible working, 4-day week is crucial at reducing hours, because let's remember, the 9 to 5, 5-day working week is a very outdated model. It's based on a 1930s, 1940s industrial economy. The economy has been transformed since then, and we need working hours to change too.
But do you concede that there may be lines of work where this is simply impossible? Perhaps the medical sector is a prime example where lives depend on the strength of the health system, especially in countries where there are few doctors per number of people.
There's sectors where it's harder to implement, for sure. And this is not a change that can be implemented overnight across the economy. But we do think in something like a parliament, 5 years' time, you could transition to a 4-day working week across the economy. And, take the health sector, for example. That's a sector where workers are so burnt out, stressed, also traumatized by the COVID pandemic. And, they're not going to perform well in their job if they're like that. So there's a strong argument there for a 4-day week to improve the quality of healthcare. And of course, you've got to hire more doctors and nurses. But, in the UK, we need to do that anyway.
And what effect will this have on national employment rates? Will there be more jobs or less jobs?
So we don't know yet in terms of Iceland, in terms of the results, but all the evidence would suggest, and you look back at history, whenever there's economic crisis and economic recession, shorter working hours have often been used to share the existing work more equally across the economy. That's important if we think about greater automation, new technology that we're about to see. We need to be sharing the existing work more equally, which brings down unemployment too. And we expect that to happen now in Iceland.
Okay, Joe, Ryle, really good to speak with you. Thanks very much.
Thank you. Thanks.